Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. First of all, I want to apologize for lack of Warframe content over the past week as I am currently held hostage by Path of Exile 2. I've been addicted to this new game since release and I just can't stop playing as I got super hooked with creating builds for each class in Path of Exile 2. Rest assured though that I'll get back publishing Warframe content when the new Coda Technosite system coming this early 2025. We don't know the exact date, but I'm really excited to grind for those new infested weapons in Warframe. But what about the next update after the Coda Technosites? I don't know if you still remember, but Digital Extremes hinted that they'll be working on the new war next and it will be the continuation of the story. Now, I know it's kind of weird because we just got a new storyline in Warframe 1999 update. However, instead of answering questions, the new storyline gave us more confusing plots and yet another pile of questions aroused in my head after the end of the quest. The Warframe 1999 questline was fine, and it was at its climax, but then it ended leaving us with more questions in our heads. The Coda Technosites will probably give us a new side of Warframe 1999, as it will introduce the other antagonists in the new world, which are the evolved variant of infested bosses. I really hope that we see an ending this year with Warframe 1999, and the upcoming Coda Technosite update will put a nail in the coffin to the new update. Honestly, it was kind of awesome seeing the Protoframes in action, and I want to know how the story ends with these new characters in Warframe. There are chances that Digital Extremes will further expand Warframe 1999 this year, but after that, they did hint that they'll continue their work in the new war, which also did not get a definitive conclusion in the end. It felt like there was bits and pieces that were missing, and honestly, the war between the Sentients and Tenno are by far one of the best storylines in Warframe. Also, if you can recall, Digital Extremes did preload some new war features in open world areas, and if you go into Orb Valis, then head over to the Orokin dig site wherein the third Orb Mother is located, you will see a Narmer drone hovering around the pond of the Big Rachnoid. This is not just a coincidence, and this could be a hint that the third Orb Mother fight will have something to do with the Narmer faction. The developers can just put a mask on the third Orb Mother fight and call it a new Narmer boss fight and be done with it. Also, there were rumors that raids will come back in Warframe, and some players said that we might see the third Orb Mother boss fight as a new raid in Warframe. Now, let me answer the question in the thumbnail. I really think that the old raid system in Warframe will never come back because of a few reasons. First of all, the old raid system was chaotic. Every patch caused new bugs or issues in the raids, to a point where it just wasn't worth the investment to bug fix it frequently anymore. Then, there were low participation rate and trials were almost exclusively played by a smaller part of the community that would repeatedly run them. They didn't draw enough player numbers to really pay off trying to fix the previously mentioned error on a monthly basis. In addition, the trials weren't focused on any of the game's strong suits. It was all puzzles that were barely, or for the most part, not ever explained properly at all. None of it revolved around skill with the game or good gear or knowledge of parkour and ability to control your movement and velocity in it properly. Digital Extremes weren't happy with how the raids didn't incorporate any of Warframe's actually exciting gameplay, so they scrapped them entirely after several years of uptime, in favor of making a new raid in the future that would take the game's fast-paced action and mobility into consideration over puzzle mechanics that you had to Google or find a wiki to understand. After trials, they added the Eidolons, which were the replacement for the old raid system. It was good in a couple of months, but there was a point wherein the hunting community became toxic. I'm not saying all of them, but there are some hunters going in public queues hunting at night, then belittling those new players who joined the hunt because they don't know what to do. There were many reported cases of toxicity and elitism in the Eidolon hunting community, since hunters want capture a lot of Eidolons per night to increase their chances of getting the arcane drops of these giant bosses. Eventually, the whole thing settled down after Digital Extremes introduced the Arcane Dissolution system, and the community now have another option of getting Arcane energized aside from hunting Eidolons in the plains. The replacement to the raid system was with only 4 members. Just imagine bringing back the 8-member raid system wherein you need to be properly geared to hunt and join the raiding squad. This will make the whole system only for elites, and the developers don't want to go back to that system wherein others players feel like they are left out. And aside from that, we are now too strong for any content, and it will be a balancing nightmare to create a new raid system derived from the old one. I think that a Narmer third Orb Mother fight could somehow work as a new raid system in Warframe. Take note that Narmer bounties has restrictions, and there are even some missions that don't allow you to use your Warframes and weapons. It's locked to using that slow poke greener, and I really dislike doing missions right now while playing Call. It was good at the first few months as it was like a breath of fresh air, but it became a chore after that. I am hoping that digital extremes will not bound the third orb mother fight in the Narmer missions that we have right now. It would be good to see our Warframes take down the third orb mother controlled by the Narmer faction, but like I have said, expect that it won't be the same 8-player raid system just like what we have in the old Trials in Warframe. So what do you think? Are we finally getting a new raid system in Warframe this year? Let us discuss in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again in our next video.